I'm Emily Mashak, and you're listening to Tuned Into NoCo, Town Square Media show that lets you know what matters in NoCo. I'm talking today with Kathleen, Benedict, and Beth Bullard from the Poudre Heritage Alliance about the 4th Annual Poudre Pour. So thank you so much for joining me, ladies.
Thank you for having us, Emily. We appreciate it.
Of course. And now, before we get into the event, I do want to talk a little bit about the Poudre Heritage Alliance. How would you say it serves the Northern Colorado community?
The Poudre Heritage Alliance is a 501c3 that manages the Cache la Poudre River National Heritage Area. Congress came up with a way to know areas throughout the U.S. that are significant for their heritage and the culture that's developed around them. In particular, the Cache la Poudre River National Heritage Area, one of 55 in the nation, was designated because it's here that water law was implemented and started to become known throughout the western region and even all the way down to Mexico. So the Poudre Heritage Alliance is all about informing the community and educating people on the value of the river, why it's important, and what sort of things you can do to celebrate the river in northern Colorado, because we have a really important one here.
Yeah, and kind of going off of that, why do you think it is so important to educate the public about the Poudre River and this heritage area?
You know, it's funny you ask, because at one time I was working with a reporter who will remain unnamed, right? And the reporter said, "We love your Play It Safe activity that we do. It's one of our programs. And how you tell people about how to be safe playing on the river, recreating on the river with the diversion structures." And the reporter has said to me, "Well, why don't you just take them all out? Then it would be safe." And I said, this is why we need to be here. We need to tell people that those diversion structures are actually the things that move the water away from the Poudre and into areas where you will be able to have a shower when you're done recreating and be able to have a drink of water because you're all hot from recreating. And they're the ones that provide that water for the rest of the region. Otherwise, it all ends up in Nebraska, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's awesome, and I'm glad we're able to have events that we can share this information at. So let's get into it. The 4th Annual Poudre Pour. What do our listeners need to know?
First of all, you need to know you really want to be there. It is a family-friendly educational event that celebrates the bounty of the river and everything it provides our communities. It is going to be, obviously, pour speaks to something that we're going to be drinking. So we are having a lot of our local brewers come and do beer tastings. And along with those beer tastings, we'll have a chef-prepared food item that matches and has actually been made from the beer and the water that comes from the Poudre River. In addition to that, we have educational cabins and kids activities, scavenger hunts. We'll have music. We'll have 2 educational panels with water experts to talk about our river and all the things the PHA is doing, and just carnivals of fun. Lots of things going on.
Yeah, that's great. And then when is it, where is it, and how can people go?
Okay, so it is going to be held at the Town of Windsor Museums. The Town of Windsor Museums is actually right in Boardwalk Park. It's the small museum area that you see to the west of the parking structures and the playground and everything. They have wonderful educational cabins with the history of our area, and we're fortunate to be able to set up activities within those cabins and have educators there to teach you as you go through and look at the things that are going on. So super easy to get to, right in the middle of Windsor. Tickets are available on our website, poudreheritage.org. We also have a Facebook page.
We'll also have tickets available at the door. So if somebody wants to join in the fun and try the different beers that are related to the Poudre water and the associated catering that matches up with those beers, there will be tickets available at the door the day of, which is
September 25th, this September from 2 to 6, again, in the Town of Windsor Museums at Boardwalk Park in Windsor.
Awesome. And now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I remember some people might not have to get a ticket, but they were able to go to the educational events. Is that still correct?
Right. The luckiest part about the Poudre Pour is if you would like to partake in the beer and the food and the actual tasting part of the Poudre Pour, that definitely requires a ticket. But we also have bands and children's activities and just the whole festival feeling. You can come in and be a non-drinking ticket, if you will, and participate in the Poudre Pour.
Would you be able to give me a little preview? I know we'll have a lot of them, but what are some of the breweries that are going to be there? The bands, do we know that yet?
We're close to nailing down a band, but we really want to have one that's going to appeal to all. So looking for someone who does a little bit of country and a little bit of rock and roll as well. As far as the brewers are concerned, so fortunate to have brewers from all along the river corridor. So we are going to have Horse and Dragon, we're going to have Purpose Brewing, Timnath Beer Works, our High Hops, Peculiar Ales, Wild Works in Greeley, Wiley Roots, Rally King.
And more.
And more. But there's a big listing of them all.
And of course, there'll be non-alcoholic options for people as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that is great. This sounds like such a fun event. I can't wait to go myself. And I know that the proceeds from the event benefit the Poudre Heritage Alliance. How will these proceeds really impact the PHA?
So the PHA only has one big fundraiser each year. And for us, it's the Poudre Pour. It was actually a brainchild of one of our volunteers who just so happens to own Horse and Dragon. Thank you, Tim. And it was kind of our brainchild to create something that combined industry and the use of water in a fun way that we could raise money from. And all of the funds that are raised from this event go to our programs, such as Play It Safe, which is a program with the fire departments in the cities on how to educate people on how to safely recreate within the river itself. And other programs like our Learning in Our Watershed program, which brings children, K through 12, to the heritage area, either through a bus scholarship or through our newer solo program where they can do it sans COVID, right? Where they can come out and enjoy the heritage area along the Poudre River Trail without having to get on a bus to get there first. So those are just a couple of our programs. There are many more, but this is where all the funding goes, is right back into our programs.
I know that people will get this information when they go to the Poudre Pour, but what do you personally think people need to be more aware of when it comes to the Poudre River and our natural heritage area that we have here?
Wow, that's a pretty long question. How long do you want me to talk? Mainly, I think the most important thing is to know that the Poudre River is used for many different things, that everybody has their own use in different ways, whether it's industry, agriculture, or recreational, or even just the beauty of nature around it. And that it can work for all of us together if we are aware that it has all these different uses and all these different important items.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And now I know hearing this, our listeners are definitely going to want to get involved. I know one way they can do that is with the Poudre Pour, but can they donate or volunteer with the PHA? How would they go about that?
Of course, anyone could always donate to the Poudre Heritage Alliance, and those buttons are always available either on our Facebook or the website. We also have some volunteer programs, in one particular, the Heritage Culturalists, which was a trained program to create ambassadors for the heritage area. But we also have other volunteers that we incorporate into it. So there are lots of different ways. Just reach out to us. There are ways to contact us at poudreheritage.org as well.
And also, if your organization or yourself is interested in being a sponsor for the event, we are interested in talking with you about that. So please reach out, again, on our website or through our Facebook page. We have many different sponsor levels, many different ways that you can be a part of the event day.
And if nothing else, if you're young and you just need to get out, go out on the solo program and enjoy. Go to our website, look it up, and you can go out and learn about the Poudre River with nothing more than your own two legs.
That is awesome. Well, thank you both ladies so much for taking the time to talk to me today. Is there anything else you would like listeners to know?
Don't forget, save the date, September 25th. From 2 to 6, Boardwalk Park, Windsor, the Town of Windsor Museums. Come out for the Poudre Pour. It will be a rain or shine event. We Coloradans know how to handle the weather, so we're happy and glad to see you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to work with you on this.
See you guys there.
Again, that was Kathleen Benedict and Beth Bullard from the Poudre Heritage Alliance talking about the 4th Annual Poudre Pour. You can get your tickets for the 4th Annual Poudre Pour at poudreheritage.org/poudre-pour.